Hello, my friend. Listen to this amazing story of betrayal and the payback for it.
It seems like just yesterday when I reminisce about how I met my significant other. We coincidentally sat next to each other in the waiting area of the company's headquarters while attending job interviews. As we conversed, I was immediately captivated by their charming personality, quick wit, and high intellect. The frequency of our encounters throughout the day gave me the impression that we were meant to work together. Just before it was time for us to part ways, he asked for my contact information, and I gladly gave it to him. A few days later, we went on our first date, and from that moment on, the rest is history. It's amusing to consider that if we had not been interviewing for the same position on the same day, our paths may never have crossed. When my spouse and I both attended job interviews on that fateful day, I can't help but feel that luck was on our side. As fate would have it, only the two of us applied for the job and were selected to work there. It seemed as though the universe was sending us a message that we were meant to be together, not just in our personal lives, but also in our professional pursuits. Had we not been chosen, we may have never crossed paths romantically or developed feelings for each other. It's truly remarkable how one stroke of luck can alter the trajectory of our life's path. I count my blessings every day for having found my soulmate and building a life and a future with the person I cherish the most in this world, my husband. It was a few years into our relationship when he proposed to me on a serene summer evening at our favorite park. The moment was surreal and filled me with immense joy. Without a doubt, my answer was a resounding yes. In the months that followed, we put all our efforts into planning the wedding of our dreams. On the day of our wedding, all our expectations were surpassed in every possible way. As we shared our first kiss as husband and wife and exchanged our vows in the presence of our loved ones, I knew that I had found my soulmate, the person I was destined to spend the rest of my life with. Our wedding day marked the beginning of our journey together through life. I consider myself incredibly blessed to have found someone who loves me unconditionally and is willing to go above and beyond to ensure my happiness and safety, supporting me in all my endeavors. I'm confident that my husband and I will spend our lives together, eagerly awaiting the opportunities that the future holds. Having worked tirelessly at our jobs for several years, we were both thrilled to be promoted to higher positions. It was a significant milestone for us, and we eagerly anticipated the new challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. We were experiencing success in both our careers and marriage, and life seemed to be moving in a positive direction for us. Despite working long hours during the weekdays, we made the most of our nights and weekends by spending time with each other and pursuing our personal interests. Our hard work paid off, resulting in greater financial stability and the freedom to pursue our dreams. We even managed to take vacations together to spend quality time. As a couple, we took the next step and invested in a home, mapping out our future together. It was a beautiful time in our lives, and I will always be grateful for the unwavering love and support that my spouse provided me. After several years of marriage, we were blessed with a beautiful son, adding to our family. The moment was unforgettable, a surge of overwhelming love and joy that we both cherished. Having tried for a family for some time, the news of our impending parenthood left us beyond elated. The following 9 months were dedicated to preparing for our child's arrival, as we read books on parenting and meticulously organized the baby's room. The birth of our child brought an overwhelming surge of love and joy that was almost too much to fathom. In the following 3 weeks, we adapted to our new roles as parents, an experience that was both amazing and challenging. Our child's arrival brought immeasurable positivity and happiness into our lives, and we consider ourselves incredibly blessed to have him in our lives. Our love for each other grew stronger, and we knew that our family was now complete. It was a momentous day that would stay with us forever. However, I made a mistake in one of the company's financial accounts, resulting in a loss of several $1,000,000 for the business. It was a genuine error on my part, and the consequences were dire. As I learned more about what had happened, my heart shattered into pieces. My husband and I had worked tirelessly to build our careers at this company, and now I was responsible for a massive financial setback. I felt as though I had let everyone down, starting with myself and extending to my family. Only my husband was aware of the mistake, and he immediately took action to rectify the situation. He worked tirelessly day and night to correct the error. My husband exerted all his energy to retrieve the embezzled funds and safeguard our employment. Despite his endeavors, the harm had already been inflicted, and we were aware of the considerable peril we were in. It was a trying phase in our existence, and we felt as though all our hard work was being snatched away from us. Nonetheless, my husband persisted in exhibiting immense affection and altruism, even amidst the bleakness. Although he had no involvement in the theft, he chose to shoulder the blame for my error and take accountability for the misused funds. I will forever be grateful to him for making that sacrifice, enabling our loved ones and future to benefit from it. Even though it was a challenging and distressing experience, it brought us even closer as partners. The incident cemented our love and commitment to each other in a manner that no other situation could have. It made me appreciate how fortunate I was to have an amazing partner beside me. When I erred in the company's financial accounts, things quickly got out of hand and spiraled into chaos. The company promptly launched an investigation into the matter. It didn't take the company long to identify me as the culprit. Although I had failed to document any transactions involving outgoing funds, the cash was eventually returned to me. Unfortunately, the company suffered a considerable loss, and the employees were understandably distressed. Legal action was the company's chosen course of action, leaving me frightened and unsure of how to rectify the situation. My husband, being the selfless and supportive partner that he is, decided to intervene and accept responsibility for my mistake. He understood the grave consequences I would face and didn't want to witness me endure them. Consequently, he confessed to being at fault, and the company opted to sue him instead. It was a trying and dreadful time for both of us as he strived to protect my best interests. My partner had to shoulder the blame for something that was entirely beyond his control. Despite this, his love and support for me remained unwavering, and I was certain that we would overcome this obstacle together. We unitedly fought the legal battle, and ultimately, my husband was sentenced to 5 years in prison for his part in the matter. The holiday season was a challenging time for my family, especially after my husband took responsibility for my mistake and was subsequently sentenced to prison. I was left to care for our infant child and preserve the sanctity of our marriage. I realized that I had to persevere through the arduous and taxing ordeal for the sake of our family, but it was far from effortless. I continued to work at the financial firm while simultaneously caring for our child, striving to balance my professional and parental obligations. I had to walk a tightrope between competing priorities, but I was resolute in my determination not to falter. I endeavored to uplift my husband's spirits by visiting him frequently in jail and sharing updates on our son's milestones and progress. I brought these reports to him, hoping to bring some joy into his life. Although it was heartbreaking to witness him in such a vulnerable situation, we remained steadfast in our dedication to each other and our family. Despite the obstacles, we triumphed in accomplishing our objective. Our love for each other and our child gave us the strength to persevere through this trying period, and we never doubted that we would emerge from it even stronger. After my husband was convicted of a crime and given a prison sentence, it was up to me to nurture our newborn child and ensure the stability of our household. It was a challenging and daunting period, and as time passed, I began to feel increasingly isolated. Despite my love and devotion to my husband, I couldn't shake the feeling that something vital was missing from my life without him. As the years went by and my spouse remained incarcerated, I contemplated the possibility of seeking companionship elsewhere. It was a difficult decision, but I felt that I required support and companionship that my husband couldn't provide while he was behind bars. After leaving him, I decided to start dating again in search of someone who could fill the void in my life. Since my spouse won't be released from prison for some time, I feel free to handle things as I see fit in the meantime. I'll never forget the day my partner was released from jail, I said. I was surprised when I received a call from his lawyer informing me that he would be returning to the country earlier than expected. It was hard for me to believe. Despite mentally and emotionally preparing myself for his release, I was caught off guard by how quickly it came. I was elated to see my partner again, and our embrace made me feel like life was back to normal. However, as time passed, I noticed changes in our situation. My husband became more withdrawn and reserved, and I soon discovered why. One day, he found my phone. He went through my phone and found all the text messages and phone conversations I had with a male friend. He discovered the affairs I had while he was away and understandably felt upset and angry. He believed I had betrayed him with my actions. I tried to explain that I was lonely and seeking companionship, but he was devastated and couldn't forgive me for my betrayal. I was aware of my mistake and apologized deeply to my husband for the pain I had caused him. Unfortunately, it was too late. The damage had been done, and our relationship was irreparably broken. My husband was furious, and to my shock, he decided to return to work and publicly announce that my actions had led to his imprisonment and that I had continued to cheat on him in his absence. His boss was sympathetic towards him, and the next day I was fired from my job while my husband's job was restored. But that wasn't the end of it. My husband's actions caused me to lose the respect of everyone around me. He destroyed everything and made my life even more miserable. When he handed me the divorce papers, it felt like a dream. But it was real. He took my belongings and sent me packing. I was homeless, and life was unbearable. I had no job, no support, and no life. I learned firsthand the consequences of betrayal and wickedness.
Do you want to hear new and interesting stories every day? Then subscribe to my channel, friend. Bye-bye.